Next on Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
Hey, welcome in, folks. It's a Friday night again. We are doing continuing our twisted tales of killer kinks and cocktails. Should be a fun night. Once again, Rose is having some family things going on. Our hearts are with her, and hopefully everything is okay. But you've got me and AC tonight, so it should be a fun night, though. I mean, I was excited. At first we thought Rose might be in, and I've missed her, and you have too, I'm sure. But tonight we are gonna. You get us.
Silly me. You know what I didn't do?
What didn't you do?
I didn't put my light on. Please continue.
Oh, yes.
Warm them up for me.
AC is gonna turn on his light here, but we're gonna have a really fun night. We've got some serious stuff. We've got some kind of like last week, some older stuff. We have updates, and then we'll have some fun too. So we always have fun, even with the serious stuff. But
that's better, isn't it?
Yeah, much better. We can see your face, your lovely, beautiful face.
Thank you so much. Well, you're right. We have a ton of new and old stuff to talk about.
Yeah, all sorts of things. I mean, it is. We are. Hey, Rocksteady. How you going?
How you going?
What's up? He says, "What's up, guys?" So,
what's up?
Rocksteady said, "Oh, that face." Yes. No, it should be a fun show. Actually, I always look forward to Friday nights.
Me too.
Much different than how was your day? I get to learn things, and he says, "Good day." Good day.
Good day.
Funny thing, Dave and I have been watching. Have you seen the show Traitors on Peacock? It's a fun show. I mean, I don't know. Basically, they get this group of people together, and then they have faithfuls and traitors. And yes,
that gentleman's on the Scottish gentleman.
Yes,
right.
Well, we've been watching the Australian version.
There's an Australian version?
Yes, it's on Peacock, and we're not paid by them, but it's so interesting.
We're not paid by anybody.
No, it's really interesting to see the difference between the American version and the Australian version, and how they go about. They're much more, I don't know, low key, but I don't know. It's just an interesting social experiment to watch both of them and see. Just to see that. So
yeah, there's the differences between what was it Alan? His name is Alan something, right?
Yes. Cumming?
Alan Cummings?
I think so.
He's very good. He's very
good. To talk about dead people. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing in life.
Dead people and how they got there.
Yeah. And then he also says when they get old and die down under. And honestly, stay tuned, Rocksteady. I do have a story about a guy in Perth. So I do. I actually pulled it. Well, in that respect, I pulled very similar stories from a YouTuber in Perth and a man in St. Paul, Minnesota. So we will explore that. But again, our Killer Kinks and Cocktails month, in honor of National Masturbation Month. He also said, we could do a story about Wendy. Or could we do a story about Wendy?
Good.
I mean, we could.
Do some research on her.
Yeah. But AC, how's your week been? I mean...
It's been pretty good. You know what? The highlight of my week was actually going on how was your day and like hanging out with you guys on Wednesday night and commenting.
Oh, it was so much fun. I was so glad you were there for that. Yeah.
I tend to comment way too much. But
oh no, you don't. You don't. You actually add to it. There are never mind. Some people just comment to comment. You actually pay attention and comment relevant things. So
I don't know how else to.
You understand what I'm saying?
I don't know how else to do that though. So yeah, no, it was an awesome show, and I love how you guys always have different games and different ways to showcase how weird Dave is, which is one of my favorite things of all time. He's a weirdo. He's a weirdo. And I think I remember commenting one of the things, it's like a 4. It's like, I don't think Dave thinks he's a 4 at anything.
No, not usually.
Not usually. A 4.
No.
Self-deprecating Dave. Self-deprecating Dave doesn't do it like that.
No.
But so one of the things we wanted to talk about tonight, we're going to jump in because we have so much to do.
Yes.
Is Karen Reed. Do you remember when we did an episode about Karen Reed?
Yes, I have. I feel bad because I've been trying to catch the updates, but I've been slacking. So it seems like you are up on this, so we can.
We got your updates, boo. So here's Karen Reed, and here's an excerpt here on Instagram. So the retrial is happening because remember it was a hung jury.
Yes.
And if you recall, Karen Reed is the lady who was hanging out with a bunch of cops. They went to the house. The guy fell on the glass. Some people say that they went into the house to keep partying after the bar. Everyone was really pissed. Well,
he went to go see if there were folks there because it didn't look like there was many people there. Exactly. She was like, "Fuck you, dude. I'm leaving," and went Kinda back to his place. And yeah,
fuck you, dude. She was doing that in court.
Yes,
she was doing that in court.
Amazing. I love her. Honestly, I'm Team Karen, and I didn't think I would be when we started that story. Yeah, I'm really actually very much Team Karen. I don't think she did it, to be honest.
I don't think so either now because the prosecutor, Alan Jackson, is on it, man. He is not playing games anymore. He's bringing it. He's using process of elimination. He's like, well, if this person isn't here, then you didn't tell that person. You didn't tell that person. What do you do? What you're doing is covering shit up.
Right.
So it's a total police cover up. So let's take a quick look at what they're doing. Let me know if you hear this.
It's muted.
Spitballing.
There we go. We're good.
To use your word, correct?
Correct.
Trying to figure out what happened.
Correct.
That's the job of an investigator, correct?
That is correct. Yes,
You don't
sir.
just take witnesses' words for things, do you?
That is correct.
You have to corroborate things.
Yes.
You have to look deeper.
Yes.
Ask more questions.
Absolutely.
Actually investigate.
That's why we're here today.
What?
You don't rule out anything or anyone off the bat, correct?
Correct.
No one is ruled out. Nothing is ruled out, correct?
That is correct. Yes.
You follow where the evidence leads you, period. Amen.
Absolutely.
You didn't seek to separate the occupants at 34 Fairview, correct?
No.
You didn't interview Brian Albert formally, did you?
I did not, no.
You were asked by Mr. Brennan, did he ever end the conversation precipitously? Did he end it early or anything like that? He didn't end any interview because he wasn't interviewed, correct?
That is correct.
You didn't interview Brian Higgins.
That is correct.
You wouldn't interview Brian Higgins because he's your personal friend, correct?
Correct.
But you didn't have anybody else interview him either, did you?
What?
Again, we're talking, I think we've gone over this and maybe you didn't understand it. I didn't know Brian Higgins was at the house at that time.
Because you didn't ask anybody else who was at the house at that time.
I wasn't talking to anybody at that house, correct?
Might have been a good idea, wouldn't it?
Not at that time. We were there for one specific reason. We wanted to get to the hospital. So no.
Might have been a good idea
disagree.
to sit Mr. Albert down and say, there, you're shaking your head again. I'm not done with my question. Might have been a good idea.
I like this guy. I
Stop
really
playing.
like this guy.
Be there, no sweat off your brow, to sit Mr. Albert down and say, by the way, I got a pen and a paper. Who was here last night, just before John O'Keefe was found dead on your lawn? Who was here? Might have been a good idea, correct?
I mean,
I really like him.
He's bringing the funk. The hung jury, he's not going to go for that this time, and he's going for the jugular because he's talking about some relevant shit. Like, why wouldn't you interview the cop? Oh, because he's your friend,
right?
These are all Leos in that county, and they're all going to cover for each other. It's the oldest trick in the book. It's happening to me,
right?
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's this guy is off the chain. I love it. And
I really enjoy him. I really do. And I really. Okay, we've said this before, and we said it when we did the Karen Reed story. She isn't likable in the respect to because. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. She is
Karen Reed.
She has her own opinions. She's not backing down. Right. She's not, going, she's not playing for me. No, right. She's like, no, I didn't fucking do this. I'm going to fight for myself. And when women become strong like that, then we're bitches and we're unlikable.
Right, of course.
It's just the way it is. I love her. I think she's wonderful.
Yeah.
She's unapologetically her, and I really enjoy that. And she's
everybody
smart
has their own tag. Everybody's like,
yeah.
Women get hysterical. People from like Puerto Rico, they can't vote because they're savages.
For dawn of time, from the dawn of time. I mean, if a woman has an emotion, it's hysterics. I mean,
of course, and people of color are victims.
Right.
And everyone has something, and then that's the one thing that just pushes it back a little bit.
Exactly.
So it's never in the forefront. So we never really fix anything.
No.
It's about keeping it going, status quo.
Yeah.
So she is, some of the comments.
I do love the fucking.
Some of the comments here. I'm sorry, we went to the next one, but let's check this one out.
A killer girlfriend?
She's guilty.
Or the scapegoat in an elaborate cover-up?
Karen Reed was framed!
Karen Reed is accused of murdering her police officer boyfriend.
And stated repeatedly, I hit it.
She may end up taking a stand.
Though.
Her first trial ended with a hung jury.
They haven't proven anything.
Will a jury finally agree on a verdict? We know who did it.
The Karen Reed murder retrial. Live coverage today on Court TV.
We don't work for Court TV, but we can get a check if you want.
Yep.
So I love reading comments. You know me.
Oh, me too.
That's where the truth lies.
Yeah.
Can someone tell me why Karen Reed leaves the courthouse every day with a rolling suitcase? I don't know.
Because she's part of the legal team. She is actually advocating for herself.
No. Watching right now is cross-examination. The judge's face is like, oh my God, you effing liar, to the witness in the stand. This trial needs to be stopped right now. This guy needs to be arrested for perjury. Declare her totally innocent because I know who's really guilty now.
Ooh.
Well, because of the guy,
Yeah.
because of how easy it was to look past this guy. And once Alan Jackson starts dismantling the shit, it's looks like it's on. So
Yeah.
good for them. Let's take a look at this one. I haven't seen this one.
I need to see this one with her flipping people off.
No.
I mean,
Watch
covertly.
Karen Reed. Do you see it's blurred out? Do you see her? Do you see the way she was just sitting? Let's do it again. Now, I'm not saying she was doing that. But Josh, this was during the time that the witness was having to read those text messages between Karen Reed and Brian Higgins. And we just picked up on this. And it worries me for her whether she was scratching her eye or not. It doesn't look good, Josh. Weigh in.
You don't get to choose how people interpret your actions. That's their privilege. That's their luxury. You just do what you do and you're accountable for it. Me seeing that, she's lucky a judge didn't catch it. That's something that in many courts would be looked at really poorly if it is determined that was kind of an intentional action. It's insulting. Everybody knows what that symbol means. I don't have to belabor that point. Justice Kitty's so interested, she's jumping up to get a better look at it. Highly inappropriate. Did the jurors see it? Did anybody else see it?
Right.
Like it adds yet another dimension.
So that just lets you know, like.
Can we just talk about those glasses for a second?
Well, do you think he's Elton John?
I mean, does he think that he can really pull them off? I'm sorry, I was very distracted.
Saturday night's all right with him. For those Elton John fans, they got that. So, so this plays more to your point here, right? So your point is that she's just a highly unlikable person, and this doesn't do her any favors. And she is kind of making herself look bad in front of the jurors, but also it also kind of messes with the jury. She's not doing herself any favors on her end as well to help her. You can be as mad as you want.
She's also not going to placate them and go, oh, if.
But it's also crossing the line. It's also crossing the line to not helping you with a jury either.
True. I mean, as her lawyer, I think I would be like, dude, come on. I get it. I understand. You're not going to placate. You're not going to play the demure. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
Nobody thinks that.
Nobody thinks that's the thing. But, and I mean, she has been known to roll her eyes. She's been during, testimonies. She definitely wears her emotions on her face. She does not hide anything, which I mean, I commend that also. But you have to go, okay, hold on. Can you just, can you not roll your eyes? Can you not flip people off?
Put in your pants. There's no reason to do this. Right.
You're a big girl. You know how to do this. You're smart. She's brilliant. She was a professor, wasn't she?
She was.
So I mean,
you're not playing with the general population of people in the county that are
right.
not, Dedham County. Man, everybody talks like, hey, with
Right.
the guy. The reason I didn't interview him because I get the lobsters in the car,
Right.
So like these are blue collar people for the most part, but she was not one of those people to be messed with.
No, and already she has a disadvantage because sometimes people see intelligence as a negative. So especially in women.
Totes. Well, it's threatening. I'm threatened.
Right.
I'm threatened by you. I'm threatened by you.
I actually was talking to my mom about this earlier. I tend to use big words sometimes. It's just who I am. It's my vocabulary. And I was talking to her and I was like, I'm done dumbing myself down for people.
There you go.
I did that for many years with many men that I've been with, men in relationships that they were intimidated by somebody who was smarter than them. And
men love bimbos.
It's fucking stupid. Not my husband. He likes a smart one. And when I met my husband, he was like, why are you doing that? I'm like, oh, wait, I don't have to with you. Great. You're not intimidated. Okay.
No. If I don't know what word you're using, I'll be like, nice one.
Exactly.
Let me learn it so I can say it with you.
Well, even I think he was joking, but last episode I used the word proclivities quite often.
Oh, proclivity. Yeah.
And he goes,
I think I use it too.
Yes. And he goes, so what does that mean again? And I think he was fucking with me, but I'm like, well, let me explain it to you. Are you intimidated?
Quite intimidated, actually.
Back from when we were talking about Dave being a weirdo, Rocksteady said Dave is offering Uber rides to randos on the street. That harkens back to when we were laid over in LA. There was an Australian woman that was staying in the same hotel as us, and we talked on the shuttle over. And that morning, we had said hello, and he goes, "Oh, by the way, if you want to share an Uber with us to go into the city, you definitely can." And she was like, "Fucking weirdo."
We're not there yet, mate.
And I was like, "Babe, he thinks you're a creep." Because I was just being nice. I'm like, I get it, but that was a little creepy.
Thanks a lot, Dave. Everything's fucking creepy. Anyway, well, if you made it this far, you are in for a treat because Sam has a story for you. She is going to go into something pretty gruesome. So, as Rose would say, trigger warning.
Yes, trigger warning on this. This is the month of killer kinks and cocktails, right, folks? So we have designed to deep dive into, sexual crimes or sexual predators or whatever it may be. All of it is going to be themed in that direction. So one of the things I wanted to touch on during this month is sextortion. Using, your videos and things to extort you for either money or even worse videos.
Like a honeypot.
Right. Yeah. So the first story that I have, and again, I've pulled two that are very, very similar, almost identical. One is about a man in Perth, and he is posed as a YouTuber, a teen YouTuber, to extort videos from children from age 11 to 17. So I'm just going to kind of read through this just because I don't know, it's easier for me to kind of go through this. So he was a predator posing as a famous teenage YouTuber who blackmailed hundreds of girls around the globe into performing sex acts on camera.
Can I say really quick before you continue? Like, this is something that is not fun for us to talk about.
No, it's not. Okay? This is something that I even told you before. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this just because it's such a hard subject. Yeah.
And it's not that we revel in this, and it's not that we think we take this into the same breath as we take like when we laugh and stuff like that. I want to separate that for the audience really quickly. Like, we don't take pleasure in talking about this. And if you've seen any number of our shows or anything close to our catalog, you can see that our demeanor changes, and some stories are harder than others, but it doesn't mean it doesn't have to be talked about.
Right.
So
And this is something I think needs to be talked about. It's something that's more prolific now than it has been in the past with, social media and, all the things. And it's causing so much harm. There are teens who have been involved in this that have unalived themselves. There's been self-harm. So again, trigger warning, but this needs to be talked about so you can guard yourself and your children against it.
and
I
just
think.
to know these things happen in the world. And
Right.
just be aware of it. Sometimes we can't even fathom the things that we talk about. And just so you all know, we don't take this in the same breath as we take any other thing that we might laugh about or drink about. So we can compartmentalize this stuff and we can talk about it. And I hope you guys take it with a grain of salt, like as far as our demeanor about it, not the story.
Right.
That's real. Grain of
Right.
salt is like,
Now, are we going to make fun of the folks that go to jail?
absolutely.
Are we going to ever? Or are we going to feel
roast a serial killer? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. To the ends of the earth.
But in this respect, again, I thought hard about trying or pulling this up, but I thought it was worth talking about. So,
but we promise, right, Sam? We promise that if you stay till the end of the show, there's going to be a good treat.
We're going to have some fun stuff.
There's going to be a treat for you if you get through the hard stuff. I promise.
I promise you, we have a fun. It's still about crime, but it's going to be. It's going to be fun to talk about.
Sam and I will give you a treat at the
end. Yes. Yes, we're going to dangle that carrot.
Did you say dangle that carrot?
Yeah.
You have the floor, ma'am.
All right. So predator posing as a famous teenage YouTuber who blackmailed hundreds of girls around the globe into performing sex acts on camera has been jailed now for 17 years in Australia. I don't even need to say his name. His name is actually Mohammed Zain Ul Abedin Rashid. It's a long name. He pled guilty to 119 charges relating to 286 people from 20 countries, including the UK, the US, Japan, and France. 2/3 of his victims were aged under 16. Sad. So this man is 29 years old. He coerced them into a cycle of increasingly extreme abuse by threatening to send explicit messages and images of them to their loved ones. Australian authorities say it's one of the worst sextortion cases in history, especially in Australian history. The callous disregard for this man had for his victims around the world and their distress, humiliation, words are hard, folks, and fear make it one of the most horrific sextortion cases prosecuted in Australia. They did say this type of online exploitation and abuse is devastating and causes lifelong trauma. When handing down the sentencing on Tuesday, and this actually was from August of 2024, so just August of last year. So when he was handed down his sentencing, his judge, Amanda Burrows, said his offense was of such a magnitude that there was no comparable case in the country, according to the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. He pretended to be a 15-year-old American internet star, and he would strike up conversations with his targets before involving them in discussions about sexual fantasies. Then he would threaten them to send their responses to friends, family, unless they performed a series of escalating, degrading sex acts, which at times included family pets and other children in their home. Let that sink in. He's a fucking piece of shit. He's a fucking piece of shit.
Other people in their home and the family pets. I can only imagine what that is.
So the court heard he had been involved in misogynistic incel communities online, and on several occasions had invited other people, in one case as many as 98 people, to watch the distressing acts on live stream. Many of the children being extorted told him they were suicidal, and one even sent images of self-harm. But he continued to blackmail them despite their obvious distress and extreme fear.
Because money.
Yeah. He was caught after Australian authorities were contacted by Interpol and U.S. investigators and charged in 2020 after police raided his home. He's already serving a 5-year prison term for sexually abusing a 14-year-old twice in his car in a Perth park. And then the court heard he was engaged in sexual offenders treatment program, but still represented a high risk of reoffending. So if we've learned anything from like the Peter Dupas case, Australia is very into rehabilitation, which I don't think is overtly a bad thing. But he won't be eligible for parole until August of 2033.
Well, here's the thing. Immediately I think of these like high profile. Have you noticed that Australia, and there's nothing against Australia. In fact, deep in this comment, there's like a I'm actually complimenting you. Like there's another level of something in these cases in Australia. It's like more, right? It's like it has like an extra layer of wow, that is more than I've ever heard before.
Right.
It's hard to explain. But if you look at the Australian cases, Victoria, where Doofus is from, and then Perth, where you were just in with our very good friend
less than a month ago,
which is watching right now.
Yeah.
You know, I hate to almost say this. It's like we're ragging on Perth, but it's almost like wake up. This is happening in Perth. I don't know if if
right. I wouldn't have even guessed that it would have happened there.
Absolutely not.
To be honest, after being there, it seemed even places that were said to be not bad areas, but rough areas weren't compared to what we have here in the United States. You know what I mean? However, and also the sentencing. I mean, he was serving a 5-year prison term, but he only got 17 years.
Right. That's the problem. I'm into the rehabilitation as well. I think there has to be a certain level of rehabilitation, but then after proven, it also depends on the heinous crime. How
I
heinous
agree.
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, who is the arbiter of that, though? Of course, obviously you have judges, but at the same time, do those judges align with what we want to happen? The people want to see happen.
I agree. One thing I do like that they said is they've been trying to rehabilitate him, but he still is presenting at a high risk. So hopefully that will help keep him there and not get him into getting paroled in 10 years or less than 10 years now.
here's a nuance to this kind of a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Dupas, if you let him on the streets, he wants to cut a girl's tits off and fuck her, right?
Right.
This guy, all he needs is Wi-Fi.
I know. Scary.
So a little bit different kind of an animal here because he can connect with other ridiculously horrible people that there's a market for this and want to see it exacted and like even want to participate in it. Mm-hmm. And then all you need is Wi-Fi, a keyboard, a camera.
Well, and it's sad. And I don't know how you would, that these kids felt that they had to. Obviously he's blackmailing them.
Think about it. Everyone looking at your naked body on the internet. Imagine your naked body being right now put on Facebook.
Right.
On the feed.
Right. It's just it's so scary. Even though, I have grown children, I couldn't imagine something like that happening to them where they felt that they couldn't come to me and say, hey, this is happening. I need your help to get out of it.
And on top of it, we are from a certain generation. It's horrifying for us to think about our naked bodies on Facebook.
Right.
Now think about the next generation who grew up with the internet and it's like a part of their culture.
Right.
It's ingrained in them. They don't know anything else other than the internet. So
right.
They can't continue to use it. It's almost like tearing a part of their DNA out of them.
Yeah.
So of course it's going to be more intense for them. For us, it's just like a public humiliation. For them, we're changing their structure, like what they were born into.
They're going to be ripped from their life
forever. And like, what kind of a life is there with no internet?
Right.
Think about that.
Exactly. Yeah. So conversely, in 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022 There was a St. Paul man in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay, this is a separate story.
Separate story. So this is the same type of thing. He was a 31-year-old man, or is, not was. He's still alive, I would assume.
Damn it.
So, so he pled guilty to a massive sextortion scheme. 31-year-old Yu Vang was sentenced to more than 4 decades in prison.
Okay.
So he did the same thing to these kids, but and he was
Minnesota.
Yes, and he had so his conduct, or what they said is so a federal courthouse in St. Paul Wednesday, which was back on June 15th of 2022, Judge Eric Tostrud handed down Vang's 43-year sentence.
Nice name, bro.
Yeah. Vang is who's from St. Paul, was initially charged with 2 counts of production of child porn, 1 count of possession of child porn, and 1 count of interstate communications with intent to extort. That was his initial charge. His conduct was calculated and cruel, and it caused unbounded and everlasting harm. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, from 2015 to 2020, Vang adopted the persona of real minor girls and posed as real people to get other young victims to produce and send him child porn. When they refused, he threatened to and did release their sexually explicit images and videos. This is the largest sextortion case in the country at that time.
Wow.
The FIB.
The
Sorry, dyslexia is hard. I'm not laughing at the story. I'm laughing at myself. The FBI identified 1,100 minors that were targeted by this man.
Oh my God.
There are victims in every state, including 50 in Minnesota and 13 in other countries.
Oh my gosh. So see what I mean with a Wi-Fi? Like your tendrils are long and far-reaching.
Right. So very similar to the man in Perth, where it spanned. I mean, it was U.S. Authorities that said, "Hey, this guy's fucking around," and Interpol even.
Yeah.
So they were able to uncover approximately 75 identifications and monikers that he was using to communicate with his victims. They said that he used dozens of usernames and IDs across different communications or social media platforms such as Skype, Snapchat, Facebook, Kik, and Kik to lure minors into thinking that they were talking to another minor.
Right. And that's the other nuance, right? Like,
well, I mean, okay, we've all seen To Catch a Predator, right? I mean, that's
right. Exactly. There's one guy, one moniker, one name. Maybe he has a couple aliases, but this guy can pop platforms.
Right.
It's like 9 platforms, different monikers. Each platform can have 5 or 6 different names, and then you're cross-pollinating all these things.
And then even, I mean, it's
impossible to catch.
One could say with AI, you can make, really sell it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
So it says this case demonstrates the extensive reach of social media and irreparable trauma one predatory individual inflicted on over 1,000 young girls. It says so they
and they're all girls.
Yeah. And now it is growing. Their sextortion is growing. I read another article where it's growing in young boys as well, or for people targeting young boys.
I mean, why have it stop there? I mean, it works for everybody, right?
Yeah. So there's dozens of victims and their families attended his sentencing hearing. Several of the young women shared heartbreaking stories of the impact his scam had on them. Basically, they said our intentions are to identify the victims so we can help or get them help and resources, the help and resources that they need, because the majority of the victims had contemplated suicide. So underlying theme, unaliving themselves. So looking at it, Australia goes with rehabilitation and put this guy in for 17 years. The other, the fake YouTuber, and then the United States. Granted, it was a bit more outreach, but still the same type of thing. He gets 43 years. So I pulled both stories to show the difference between the two countries and how they handle the sentencing and
right or wrong. I mean,
right. I don't know which one's right, which one's wrong. I mean,
I don't either. I don't either.
One would assume that the gentleman, I shouldn't say gentleman, he's not the fucking piece of shit in the United States, will have less opportunity to parole, but who knows? Who knows? So, again, hard subject. It was so hard, especially thinking of my own children. You know what I mean? Even though they're not children anymore, I could only imagine.
It doesn't matter. There's always going to be women. There are always going to be women, and
it doesn't have to be children. It could be anyone that's sextorted. And you know,
I mean, if you were sextorted right now, that would be the end of.
Right.
Think about our online presence. Think about how people find us for our businesses. Think about how people like. It's always going to be intertwined. That's it. It's ruined. It's really so. Just pray. You know, get some lifeguard shit or whatever the fuck. You know, you have to get online, like you know, McAfee, whatever. But like, really pay attention to this because that could be the end of everything. I mean,
and
online presence is everything.
No matter how much you think you know someone, don't do it. Don't send it.
Right.
Not once. Not even. Don't give them the fodder to extort you, because I mean, and again, being so young, I mean, these men targeted young girls age 11 to 17, and most of them under 16. And I understand. I mean,
think about how awesome the internet is. We met Rocksteady a couple years ago, and now you went to go visit him, like on the internet.
I
met him on the internet.
Yes.
Right, and like we've made a dear friend, right?
Oh, family now.
Family, right?
Just like you.
I mean,
you and I met the same way. We're family now.
It's amazing. You know, like I incorporate you in a lot of things that I wouldn't normally think about.
Right.
I think about you more than sometimes my own family, and like, so think about how awesome the internet is for that. But that's the benevolence, right? Like that's this beautiful, like best case scenario of the internet.
Exactly.
There's also all the underbelly. Like just as easily as you can make a relationship, you can make a fake one and completely break someone because you give so much to the internet. I mean, all of it is on there.
No.
There's nothing left for us. It's always on there, you know.
And you know, Dave and I through the old app Stereo have encountered the fake the scammer too. You know, we didn't fall into it, but
some people are just assholes.
We exposed it.
some people are just like, well, I just want to watch it burn, and like, there's no like outward reward that they're going to get from it other than being rewarded because you're a dick, right? So it just could be like, you know, just later in Stereo, like there were people having sex on there, or there were people like just
masturbating, actually.
masturbating, waiting for people to just come into the room, or you know, you're fapping one out. And then the next one is the guy just waiting for like, hey, how are you? It's like, hey, fuck you, you know? And then that shit. What are those people on there? They're not gaining anything from it. They're just that pull that like, I feel good. I'm going to sleep good tonight because I was sick, or whatever the fuck makes you feel good. Whatever it is.
There were people, you know, scamming money off of people to invest in crypto.
That's right.
We all know who I'm talking about, or
yes,
at least you and I do. And anyone listening who was on that app.
For sure.
And we did call that out, and we helped get one of the people back some of their money for it, because you know this person preyed on you know, somebody who was had a disability, and
incredible to me.
It's fucking stupid, and that was just crypto. It's insane how they could, you know, anyone, or not anyone, but you know, people are so shitty that they're going to sextort people or extort people for other reasons. I mean, it's just fucking stupid.
There's the people who are on, you know, benevolent people that just want to have friends. The ones that are like kind of trolly, but like still cool as fuck. Like, but we'll troll you, is roast people. And then there's like people who like,
but they're upfront with that. I'm gonna fucking troll you, and we're gonna have a fun time, and I don't mean anything by it. But
then a big line underbelly, like people who just like use you for a means to an end, like stealing money from you, getting them to sign up for something. And then the bottom is like people who just do shit just to make other people feel bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there is that currency as well. Like that's a commodity. It's like I feed off people's sadness.
I don't understand that. I'm I don't think that's empathy, but I'm a very empathetic person and feel like I can, or I try to see or understand most people, but I just cannot understand that.
Right. It doesn't make sense to me a lot.
Doesn't make any sense to me at all. So,
Samantha, are you ready for me to talk about someone who is quite popular? I'm sure the audience of now live and also the people we're going to see in the future know exactly who we're talking about. Do you have an idea of who we're talking about tonight from my segment?
I'm hoping it's something like Dahmer again, where I can learn, where I think I know about it, but I don't know enough, and I'm really excited. So, yes, I'm very excited.
This scumbag, this let's see, I just want to keep it like that. So this is Richard Ramirez. They called him the Night Stalker, and I've been going like for kind of mainstream killers, right? And this is as mainstream as you can get, because you're doing a couple of obscure stuff. I want to make sure that people understand that the history of serial killing is
absolutely,
and especially through the scope of sex. These guys are pretty much, we don't want to leave them off the list.
Right. I mean, this needs to be talked about.
This needs to be talked about. And I'm sure people who lived around this time will totally remember what this man represented. But let's see, who is Richard Ramirez? Richard Ramirez was an American serial killer who murdered at least 14 people and was convicted of attempted murder and 5 others. After developing epilepsy as a child, he became a heavy drug user and cultivated interest in Satanism, which became a calling card for the investigators at the crime scenes. He committed at least 30 violent crimes and often included rape. Okay.
I mean, I think we can say it. I don't
think so. All right. Well, included a bunch of grapes and torture, mostly during the spring and summer of 1985. Apprehended in August of that year, Ramirez was sentenced to death. There's nothing, I guess I said to. Was sentenced to death at the conclusion of his trial in 1989. He spent the remainder of his days in California San Quentin prison before dying of cancer in 2013. So that's the whole thing.
That's sad. Not sad. That's anticlimactic. He didn't. Yeah. He was sentenced to death, but it was cancer that took him. Fuck off.
This time I wanted to give you and the audience the entire synopsis, and then I wanted to get into what he did. I wonder if that'll change things, because typically we'll go chronologically and then we'll say what happened at the end.
Right. Yeah.
But now we know. So I mean, this is an old enough story where people might know, but for those kind of hearing about this for the first time, I wanted to give you everything, and then see if that changes your how you react to it. You know?
Sure.
So Richard was born in 1960 in El Paso, Texas.
1960 had a couple of fucking serial killers.
Yes, it did. I wonder what year
Dahmer was born in 60.
That's right. Year of the killer, the Chinese Zodiac.
Yeah.
Year of the dickhead.
Yeah.
So he was known as Ricky, and he was the 5th child of immigrants from Mercedes and Julian Ramirez. Richard reportedly sustained multiple head injuries as a child, and that is different than anybody that we've covered, right? Like, physically, getting harm, and then kind of knocking his noggin where he turned epileptic, right? He because of this, he got epileptic fits, which is different.
Okay, real quick. It's funny. My oldest daughter has epilepsy.
Yes.
And my nana, my dad's mom, swore, because the kid used to, when she was like 2, run full speed into a wall, smack her fucking head, and go, "I'm okay." And my nana swore her epilepsy
comes from that.
Came from that.
Nana might have a point here.
I know, now that I'm seeing this.
Right.
I mean, she's not a serial killer by any means, but
I'm sure there's a couple choices you can make, right?
Right, exactly. We don't all go down the serial killer road, but that's interesting to me. So
thank you for that. So as an adolescent, Ramirez was heavily influenced by his older cousin Miguel, who had recently returned from fighting in the Vietnam War, which we know that people didn't come back from
They were not okay.
All saying they were not okay. The two smoked marijuana together, which was extremely prevalent, not only in Vietnam, which is hard to say how they would do that. A family friend of ours was in Vietnam, and he was actually the guy on the side of the helicopter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the helicopter would tilt forward, and he was just spraying. So how many people do you know? Like, how do you sleep at night knowing how many people you actually killed?
Right.
You have no idea. You're spraying into a rice field. So and so try to deal with that when you come back home. So the two smoked marijuana together, and Miguel told Ramirez about the torture and mutilation that he inflicted on several Vietnamese women.
Ugh.
That's another facet of the Vietnam War that is disgusting.
It is.
So, and we didn't even fucking win the war. You know, like we didn't come back even with a you know, all of these people dead, the mutilation and the changing of these people in Vietnam. Now, what do we get? We don't even get a medal for fucking winning it. It's disgusting. So, end wars now. At age 13, Ramirez witnessed his cousin kill his wife. Okay, so he also and the gentleman who mutilated the Vietnamese women had actual corroborating evidence with like pictures, so he actually saw this. So imagine he's already hit his head, he's having epileptic seizures, he's highly susceptible, and he's like learning all these horrific things from these people around him, right? So and on top of that, you know, he witnessed the killing of his cousin kill his wife, right? So that's crazy.
Yeah.
So then Miguel Ramirez was found not guilty of murder by reason of insanity and released 4 years later. Dropping
off.
Fuck you, right? Exactly. So now, what did you learn there?
Right.
Dropping out of school in the 9th grade, Ramirez was arrested for the first time in 1977 for marijuana possession. Easy, everybody does that. He soon moved to California, formed a cocaine addiction, which is now a different level, progressed to burglary, and cultivated the interest in Satanism. That was quick.
Yeah, that took a turn.
That took a turn. Okay. So, I mean, I feel like we glazed over a lot of stuff there, but here we are. He was arrested twice in the Los Angeles area for auto theft because you're high on cocaine, so you need to get more cocaine. And in 1981 and 1984, the height of cocaine. Think about it.
I mean, yeah.
Noticeably began to neglect his personal hygiene. Ah la la. Okay. So
I mean, that tracks.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I've been there. Let's leave that right there. It's theft turned to violence when Ramirez first discovered murder on June 28th, 1984, with the victim of a 79-year-old Jenny Vincow, who was sexually assaulted, stabbed, and killed during the burglary in her home. What followed was a spree of brutal murders, rapes, and robberies, leaving dozens of victims in his wake. Ramirez next struck nearly 9 months later on March 17th, 1985. He attacked Maria Hernandez, who managed to escape and then killed her roommate, Dale Ozaki, 34. He not satisfied with the assaults, you know, he's still bloodthirsty, so he then shot and killed Sai Lian Yu, 30 years old, and in the same evening, spurring a media frenzy that saw Ramirez dubbed the Valley Intruder. So that was his first moniker. It was the Night Stalker, the Valley Intruder, which doesn't sound as
it's not as menacing, yeah, not at all.
Not for someone high on cocaine, raping 79-year-old women, and then like, you know, killing these people, and then just going on a bloodlust frenzy, right? Because there's 3 people. March 17th was a big day for him.
Yeah.
You know, Dale Ozaki, and then Sai Lian, right? Dale and Zai.
And then Maria.
And then Maria, which was just like, okay. He went on a serious tear. So something in his brain, either he was going through what do you think happens there? Is it like a
Could be a manic episode. Yeah. Or he did it and he was like, I like this. I want more. I mean,
and I want a lot of
bloodlust.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like, you know, just kicked in. Yeah.
It's gotta tap into something sexual.
It has
to.
I
mean, obviously he's raping them, but like it's gotta tap into something like, it's hard to explain. Like sexual desire is stronger than, like, I don't know, sometimes stronger than normal desire. You know?
Right.
And then it leads you to do some things. I mean, obviously this is the extreme of it, but like, my gosh. So just 10 days later, on March 27th, Ramirez murdered 64-year-old Vincent Zazara and Zazara's 44-year-old wife, Maxine Zazara, using an attack style that would become a pattern for the killer. The husband was shot first, Then the wife was brutally assaulted and stabbed to death in this case. Ramirez also gouged out Maxine's eyes.
Okay, I wonder who hurt him. This kind of reminds me of Dupas a little bit,
Totally.
because it was well, then they say when you stab someone, it is like it's an extent more personal than shooting someone. So the men, he was like, "Fuck off! I'm gonna just shoot you and you're dead because you're in my way." The women, it seems to me, with the stabbing and the brutalization of them, I mean, that is, again, with stabbing them to death, I feel like it is more of an extension of a sexual urge as opposed to just the killing of someone. Does that make sense?
Of course it does.
Okay.
Absolutely it does. But that's so there.
And gouging out the eyes, I wonder why.
See, okay. This is going to sound weird, right? I'm just stepping into. I'm not a serial killer. I'm just stepping into it.
Right. I mean, this is your role in this whole thing.
Wouldn't I want the eyes to never go? Like I want them to see, right? Wouldn't I want them to see, or is it so lust laden that I need to have them? You know what I mean?
Right. Or do you think they were gouged out after the act, so they saw and he gouged them? So I don't know. You could.
There's no hard drive in there. You know, like what are you doing?
Right. So I mean, but if you're, not all there, or have this,
not all
this,
there.
well, not meaning that, but if you have this urge and bloodlust, and maybe he did feel that the eyes were would hold, would, like a hard drive would hold that memory, and that's his. Let's gouge that out. That's mine. You don't get that.
I earned this by overpowering.
One would think that they. I mean, I don't know if it was before or after all of it, but it was after. One would think that would make sense. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here on this. Keep going. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm just my friend Jason. Please join us. He's texting me and I'm like, hey, we're on live, so come join us.
Yeah.
You're a sick fuck. He's just like me. He's a sick fuck. Oh. And and so just like I said, just 10 days later after that 3-person bloodlusted killing spree, then just 10 days later, oh, bless you.
Sorry.
Then Vincent Cesara, she does that. Vincent Cesara and the wife, Maxine Cesara, both 44. Well,
he was 64. She was.
I'm sorry. She was.
There was a 20-year difference. Cesara had some game.
Cesara had game or money.
Or money.
Exactly right. So
it was either a big dick or money.
Right, big dick or money or both.
Or both.
Can you imagine having the incredible fortune of being born with a big dick and money? My God. So like Sam said, 64 years old, the husband, and a 44-year-old wife. This becomes a pattern for the Night Stalker now. So the attack style will become something
like a calling
of a recurring
right?
thing. Yeah, exactly. So the husband was shot first, then the wife, brutally murdered, stabbed to death. In this case, Ramirez also gouged Maxine's eyes out, like we just said. And then a full-scale police operation yielded no concrete results. What are you looking for? And Ramirez repeated his pattern on retirees William and Lillian Doy.
He had an affinity for older folks.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't fight. I mean, the 44-year-old is a little different, but his first victim was 79. I mean,
he likes the older ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So welcome, my boy. So I was just saying how you were a sick fuck just like me. So come and enjoy this. So the full-scale police operation didn't yield anything, which is incredible to me. And in the next few months, the murder rate escalated, claiming another dozen victims. So from now on, 3, and then 2 couples. So that's what's 3, 4, 7, and then on top of it, another dozen. Right. So what we haven't heard about yet is Satan and the satanic rituals. So, so his murder rate escalated, and then now if they're complete with brutal violence, assault, burglary, and satanic rituals. The Los Angeles Police Department responded by putting together a dedicated task force for the one guy, and the FBI stepping in to assist. So this guy really brought people into task force and like made people, like the police, like we can't figure this out. Like, how can you not figure this out, right? Like it's asinine for me to think about today.
Right.
So the relentless media and police pressure, aided with the descriptions from surviving victims, forced Ramirez to leave LA that August, and he journeyed to San Francisco, where he took 2 more victims, Peter and Barbara Pan, 66 and 64. What's up with the old?
I don't know.
I don't know. What's up with the old people?
I have no idea.
I don't know. But 44, he went a little young with the Zazaras.
Yes, he did.
So on August 17th, he also likes to do things on the 17th. Have you noticed?
Yes, it's with a 7 at the end.
Or the 7, 7 or 17.
It was the 17th, the 27th, the 17th. Yeah, crazy.
Insane. People on the 17th, I don't know. So his unmistakable MO, complete with satanic symbolism, meant the Valley murder moniker was no longer applicable. The press quickly coined the new name, the Night Stalker. So he was born.
Not Night Stalker was born into existence.
He was whispered into existence, as most of his assaults took place at night in his victims' homes. So you weren't even safe at home in that time in Southern California, in LA, or anywhere in San Francisco now, because he moves spots. So he was spotted outside of Mission Viejo, where he unwittingly left a footprint before witnesses took note of his car and license plate. Later, after Ramirez raped another woman at her house and shot her fiance, which is his MO. Remember, he keeps doing this. He keeps shooting the guy because he's a pussy.
Yep.
And then he has his way with the wife while she can't do anything and is completely shocked and vulnerable, right? Why don't we try the other way around? Why don't you try to go fisticuffs with the dude? Maybe somebody whoop your motherfucking ass, you pussy. So later, he took another woman at her home and shot her fiance. The victim provided a detailed description of her assailant, who had forced her to swear her love for Satan.
It's weird that he left her.
Right?
Why not
gouge her eyes out?
Unalive her? Yeah.
Why not gouge her eyes out?
Right.
Ramirez's abandoned car was found a few days later, complete with enough of a fingerprint to make a match, and his criminal record enabled the police to finally put a name to the Night Stalker. National TV and print media coverage featuring this prison photo, right? The one that, the very famous one.
Yes. The one we just saw up there, right there.
This is the one, right? It's the mugshot of Ramirez. And then his criminal record enabled the police to finally put a name to the Night Stalker. And on August 31st, his capture, along with a series of, his capture happened because of a series of clues, and he was badly beaten by East Los Angeles residents while attempting 2 carjackings.
Good.
So I wonder if he was still on cocaine, because the guy was like, really,
probably.
and how much cocaine, and how
he
getting
looked
money.
a little coked up.
He looked a little coked up.
Oh my
God, could you imagine coming down in jail, knowing all this shit's about? Oh God. Trial, conviction, and sentencing. So we already said at the top of the show, at the top of the piece here, that we know what happened to him, but it's going to be fun to play it out here. So Ramirez waited in jail, and his trial was continuously pushed off. The delay marked by a series of motions and bickering between prosecutors and defense attorneys because of the geographical spread of the crimes, and also complicated the scope of the trial, which jurisdictional issues. Some of the charges against Ramirez were dropped in order to expedite what was becoming a long jury. So he actually got away with some shit just to expedite. He got away with some shit just to get to the end and be.
I mean, ends justify the means sometimes.
How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that is that?
Well, I mean, let's be real. He didn't get away with it because they did sentence him to death. So, I mean, you know what I mean? They got him on the big stuff, it seems like. I guess if you're trying to get him convicted, I don't know. I don't quite like it, but
I don't love it.
We've also talked about, when they make a point or by doing 10 consecutive life sentences, you know what I mean? Or
it's definitely something I brought up. I hate,
right.
I know you hate it too. 10 consecutive life sentences doesn't do a thing.
It's just arbitrary and
it's just performative.
Yes.
And So
dropping a couple things to get him to a conviction, maybe not a bad idea.
What if you don't have to answer this for too long, but what if you were one of the family members, victims that dropped?
I think I initially would be pissed.
Yeah.
But if he is convicted, then I would know that justice was served.
Yeah.
Now, had he have gotten off, I would have been really pissed.
Of course, that's a different situation altogether. But like, and that's the nuance of the question. Like, okay, he's still going to get there, but
Right.
you're the one that's not named.
And that's, I mean, honestly, again, gut reaction initially to that, probably going to be a bit miffed. And miffed is a light word. I'd be fucking pissed. However, if it got him to a conviction, I would know that he was getting what he deserved, even if my family member wasn't named.
Mm-hmm.
And had he have gotten the death penalty and not fucking pussied out and died of cancer,
pussy,
I would have been I would have been there when they killed him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
I would be that person because I would want that closure, I think.
Absolutely. So
I don't know if they would let you though if your family member wasn't named. They probably would though.
I don't know. It's a good question. I should have if I'm one of the victims' family members or the closest one at least, I should have free reign to see the guy die.
Yeah.
Seems right, but it also seems like something our government would fuck us over for.
Oh, that sounds right.
Ramirez waited in jail and continuously got the thing pushed off. So just to remind you guys, he continuously got this pushed off because of geographical issues, the trial and jurisdiction problems. They kept pushing it off. They were bickering and they just couldn't come up with something. So they had to shed, where Sam and I were talking about, they had to shed a couple of extra cases, like one of these people that he killed, so they'd be able to expedite this and go a little faster, right? So the jury selection finally moved forward in 1988, on July 22nd. The trial itself commenced the following January. During this time, Ramirez attracted a cult-like following of supporters. A lot, of course. This is not new.
It's not, but it's still maddening. It's maddening.
Yeah, it's not a new thing. Like Wade Wilson, David Berkowitz,
yes.
You name it. There's always going to be some strange ass motherfuckers that like to do
Manson.
Manson, yeah, he's probably the most.
He was a cult leader, but you know,
literally, right? literally. Have you been? So the jury selection process finally moved forward in July of '88, and then here's the crazy part, right? So a lot of these cult-like people and supporters, they were black-clad Satan worshipers, right? So Ramirez himself often dressed in all black along with dark shades for the courtroom appearances. Like they allowed him to do that, right? That doesn't make any sense.
I mean,
why would you allow a Satan? I'd be putting him in orange. You know what I'm saying? Like the opposite of what his faith is. Like, you know what I mean? Because this only exacerbates people on the outside. Like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right, exactly. I mean, as his lawyer, you would be like, hey, maybe not lean into the Satanism so much, but
but there's people on the outside going, fuck yeah. Right. So another delay occurred when the juror was found murdered on August 14th, 1989, but the rumors that Ramirez had orchestrated her death proved unfounded. I don't believe that. I believe that some of those supporters might have done that. What are the chances, right? On September 20th, 1989, the jury finally returned a unanimously guilty verdict of 43 charges, including 13 counts of murder, 5 counts of attempted murder, 11 sexual assault charges, and 14 burglary charges. Probation. 2 weeks later, the same jury recommended the death sentence on 19 counts. Leaving the courtroom, Ramirez responded, "Hey, big deal. Death always comes with the territory. I'll see you in Disneyland," unquote, right? So my man was super cool about it, and his supporters on the outside were like, oh,
right?
When he said, quote, "Hey, big deal. Death always comes with the territory. I'll see you in Disneyland," unquote. The convicted murderer was finally sentenced to death by gas chamber on November 7th, 1989, and was sent to San Quentin prison in California to spend the remainder of his days.
So it's funny because as we were talking about Satanism and in the 80s, I believe it was very
satanic panic.
It was a fear-mongering thing for a lot of folks.
Okay.
And in reality, there's really not a whole lot of Satan worshipers. The Church of Satan and whatever, they're just atheists that have used that to,
literally, it's a troll.
Well, right. And we've talked about, or I have, at least on How Was Your Day, the Satanic Temple, and how they do a ton of good for folks
They
and
do.
kids.
They do. It's
And-
just
and
it's literally to troll the Christians to say like
exactly it. So
you can't be the only good ones. You don't have a fucking monopoly on good.
now, don't get me wrong. There are extreme folks out there that actually do worship Satan, whatever, but
Sure, in a bad way. But
in a bad way. But in the respect of, when, folks are talking or people bring up, the Satanic Temple or the Church of Satan or whatever, they're not worship. It is a troll. So I remember in the 80s growing up, I also went to a parochial school, a Christian school, and, anything when, don't worship the devil and, fucking, even, what's his name? I can't think of it. Rockstar, bit the head off the fucking
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne. They were like, oh, you can't listen to him, blah, blah, blah. If you play, certain, if you listen to metal, you're, and play it backwards, it's satanic rituals and shit. That's all fear mongering, and that's what they did to keep us good little Christian kids. You know what I mean?
You know what? On the next show, I'm going to bring up a compilation of that, what you just said.
Right.
And the Satanic Panic with the I know what happened to a couple of people, even Led Zeppelin, I believe, it happened to them as well.
Yeah. Well, and it's sad because, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I've even brought up multiple times, the Satanic Temple and how they,
and
how
Anton
well,
LaVey.
Yeah, and how well they do in helping the community. And
it's a troll.
Right. And if that's something that, I don't know, it's not bad to me, but
as long as they do good, I don't care what they're called.
They don't really.
They can be called whatever as long as they do good.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's
but in things like this, where the Night Stalker, did satanic rituals. I mean, just was fodder for for the movement against it. You know what I mean? It's
Absolutely.
just one rando that was fucking sick in the head. It's
exactly right. Yeah, and apparently like just so slippery that nobody can catch him in between L.A. and San Francisco, and like no one can just get his hands on him. Like, and then there was quarrels and like problems on whose jurisdiction is going to prosecute, and it's like this guy just kept getting off and off and off.
Yeah.
And just like Peter Dupas, the guy was like, a parallel was happening in Victoria, Australia, where this guy was cutting, and then like you go in through, like, well, we'll just rehabilitate you for 3 years, and then let you go. Look,
he's a model citizen in jail.
Yeah,
you know why? There's no fucking women to fuck with.
And then
that's not his target market.
Exactly. And then he finds two people in because he never left a 4-mile radius of his home.
Yeah.
30.
And he wasn't all that smart.
He wasn't. He just walked around and saw, oh, I'd like to rape and cut that chick's tits off.
Right.
And then they would do that. And then that's it. And then he would get caught and be like, oh, okay. Oh, 3 years? Okay, well, I'll do that. And I'm nice. But it doesn't take away from the fact.
For 3 years. Sure. And then I'll con this woman to fall in love with me and marry me. And he's fine. He's okay.
Okay, let's move on to Richard. I know you have a treat for us. For everyone who's thank you for being here on this Friday night. Once again, what is this called? This whole month of May called?
It is Killer Kinks and Cocktails, Twisted Tales of sexual proclivities, and it could be anything from the sextortion to sexual deviance to serial killers with an affinity for grape. There's always that underlying sexual component to all of these crimes.
Exactly.
And to be fair, a lot of crimes have a sexual undertone, whether it's a crime of passion or whatever it may be. So
and we're doing this on the month of May because it's National Rub Your Clit Month and National Jack Your Dick Month, right?
Exactly. Masturbation Month, International Masturbation Month. So
Sweet. However you do it.
Just in the US, folks, it's all over the world.
Either up and down or in circles. We love you and we welcome you. So
whether you like to do it in a group or on your own.
On your own, in a mirror, on a mirror. So Richard, wow, that's graphic. Richard Ramirez's teeth.
Yes. Okay.
I'm going to stop you there before you say the next thing.
Yep.
I was gonna be. I don't know. I felt like that was gonna be graphic. Ramirez's teeth were the most noticeable aspect of his poor hygiene. Remember we talked about him being a poor hygiene fuck. It even contributed to his capture and his conviction. So according to the forensic dentist, 9 of his teeth were decayed and several others were missing. So this was due to a combination of his poor diet, his cocaine addiction, and at least 2 survivors, including Lillian Doy, who placed Ramirez had bad teeth and, like, you know, I'm sure had bad breath as well. So it was like a calling card as well, right? So during Ramirez's trial, father claimed that his son in El Paso, Texas, in 1985, when he had allegedly raped 3 women and murdered 1. However, records from a Los Angeles dentist's office show that Ramirez had appeared for an appointment on May 30th. So he was actually like actively trying to go to the dentist. I'm sure he was in pain, right? So according to the A&E True Crime show, Ramirez's dental health was actually improved by his arrest. So he was actually going to the dentist in Los Angeles, and he went for a root canal and everything. He made several films while he was awaiting trial. So he actually, like, not only started his way back to dental health outside, but once he was caught, then he did a root canal. It's so nice.
Yeah.
You know, on the dime of the just fucking kill him already. What are you gonna do? A root canal on a fucking killer? Get
right.
the fuck out of
You
here.
got the fucking death penalty.
Fuck up, man. Fuck you, man.
Jesus.
While incarcerated, Ramirez married one of his supporters. Here we go.
I read ahead and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yep. Oh, well, of course he did, though, right? Of course. So
I mean,
Ramirez,
you gotta.
One of his supporters. Supporters. How do you support him?
I don't know.
How are you a supporter? You support killing? You support death? You support murder?
Rapes?
Rapes? Okay. You like grapes? I love grapes. Oh, God. So in 1996, he finds this lady who loves him. Her name is Doreen Leoy. And Leoy believed that Ramirez was innocent and wrote him dozens of letters before they eventually met in San Quentin. He thought he was innocent. It was all planted.
It's not me.
It wasn't him.
Do it.
He's too beautiful to do it. According to the Los Angeles Times, Leoy was loyal to Ramirez and visited him in prison 4 times a week. However, her family disowned her and following the marriage. Of course.
I mean, I get it.
No fucking shit. Leoy reportedly severed her relationship with Ramirez in 2009 when a DNA sample connected him to the rape of and murder of a 9-year-old.
Oh my God.
I didn't know that was coming.
No, I didn't either.
Okay. So I guess Leoy, the woman who thought she wasn't completely delulu.
He's innocent.
She wasn't, but I love him. He's so beautiful.
But then when the actual proof came out with DNA evidence, because, you know, times evolve, fuck
me. I can't believe I had to say that. Okay, so once again, in 2009, his girl, the one that had married him in 96, so at this point, they're together forever, right? 4 times a week she's going because he believes that he's actually, you know,
Lord.
There's a possibility he's like, all of this evidence was just planted and he's just like, you know, he's the guy, right? So, but what really shook the whole tree was the fact that in a sample came back because he's already into the system, right? So a sample came back and they pull it and it just matches him to this girl that it's a 9-year-old girl in San Francisco when he went there from Los Angeles to San Francisco when he changed venues. And that was what shook the tree for her. That was her final straw. So the couple had no children, obviously. Did they have conjugal visits? That's stupid. And Ramirez is not known to have fathered any children in his lifetime. Known. Right. A woman was named Christine Lee claimed on Geraldo that Ramirez that she was engaged to Ramirez, but didn't offer any details of the relationship. Ramirez's long-awaited appeal finally made it to California State Supreme Court in 2006 before being rejected. Of course, it was rejected. And I mean, I would.
One would think.
I wouldn't put anything past them. And then, at the age of 53, unfortunately, he fell to cancer, right? B-cell lymphoma. And at the age of 53, 2013, he wasn't able to actually get the gas chamber the way people wanted because for some reason he had to spend 20 years languishing before you do that, right?
Yeah.
And So the correctional officers, Ramirez's death came within days after he was taken to the Marin General Hospital in Green Bay, California. He likely died alone, as friends and families would not have been allowed to see him. So I don't know if he had friends and family, then well, his supporters, right, will come out.
You're right. Yeah.
Right. And then there's a Netflix documentary, Lou Diamond Phillips, that makes a lot of sense.
It's American Horror Story and a Netflix documentary. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's right. So, and then there's a Night Stalker, The Hunt for the Serial Killer in 2021, Homicide Detectives, and The Hillside Strangler. Latter was known for his work. So this guy's known for solving the Hillside Strangler. So his take on it is pretty good. I'm going to check it out. And so a couple of his quotes just to leave you. Hey, like we said before, hey, big deal. Death always comes with the territory. I'll see you in Disneyland. I don't know why he sounds like New York to me. He's not. He's from El Paso.
Yeah.
I believe in the evil in human nature. This is wicked world. And in a wicked world, wicked people are born. Okay. I don't care about myself, really. I don't care what happens to me. I never really did. I never did, really.
I mean, that tracks.
That tracks. Yeah, you have to have a certain level of I don't give a fuck about myself to do this. But let's take one more look. So while I show his picture and stuff, what do you feel?
I'm a bit upset that he didn't get the death penalty.
Look at this son of a bitch.
Yeah. I don't know. He has nice cheekbones.
Are you kidding me right now? That's what you care about?
I know. It's not. I'm just making a joke. He does have the shitty eyes, the beady eyes, or nothing behind them. Yeah. He's taller than I expected, to be honest.
He's real tall.
Yeah. But no, he's a piece of shit. And again,
we're gonna lose this. Yeah, we're gonna lose.
I can take some solace in the fact that he died alone, but I really, again, granted, he can't help but had they put him to death prior to that, he wouldn't have. It wouldn't have mattered, You
can help it because you can kill the guy faster. What are you waiting for? There's an appeal. Just get the appeal going.
Once the appeal was done, he should have been put to death.
How many times are you going to appeal? There's people on death row for 20 years. I don't get it. Either they did or they didn't.
Right. And why make them, and why keep the why keep them in population for that long when you're going to put them to death anyway? It's saving taxpayers money, not having to keep them alive.
I don't get it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, totally. So all right, so that is we're wrapping up with the Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, and that's an old story, but it's relevant to this day.
It is. I mean, I kind of like going back. I mean, I hope at some point or during this month we touch on like Jack the Ripper and things like that, just because I'm hoping. We don't know. We'll see how the month goes, but it's just
was Jack a sexual crime?
He killed prostitutes. So
that's true. Okay, I mean, okay.
It has an element of.
Oh, is that the one?
and there's actually a more recent case where, I think was it Michigan or someplace there was a guy killing prostitutes as well. So,
Michigan's hot.
Yeah,
Michigan's hot. That's where Chris Hansen has that show.
Yeah. He does it on YouTube now.
Watch on YouTube. Watch on YouTube all the time. He's like, come here, why don't you have a seat right here?
Yeah, he's so good at that.
He's so good at that. You know who I am?
Of course you do.
You thought she was 21? It says like, I'm going to eat your virgin asshole.
Yeah.
Is this you saying?
They're like. What amazes me is that they fucking sit down and have a whole ass conversation thinking nothing's going to happen. Yeah. Or they're so delulu that they think if I sit and have this conversation, they're not going to get me. I cooperated.
Super delulu, man.
Super delulu.
Whatever.
Yes. All right. Are we ready for this fun story of mine?
We told you that if you stuck around this long, we were going to give you a treat.
Yes, it's going to be a treat. I'm really kind of excited about this.
Compared to the Night Stalker and like
YouTube
extortionists.
Yeah, it's it's going to be fun. So the title of this one says video shows the moment a stripper allegedly stabbed. I think it's funny that they put allegedly. I'll show you the video in a moment. Club DJ in the back unprovoked attack. So in Portland, a DJ was working at a local strip club. He was stabbed by a dancer while in the DJ booth in what coworkers are calling an unprovoked attack. This incident went down earlier this actually happened December of last year. So just 4 or 5 months ago. Mm-hmm. In the Casa Diablo vegan strip club. Let that sink in.
What is a vegan strip club, Sam?
Oregon. I don't fucking know. It makes sense to me when they were like, oh, it's in Oregon. I'm like, yeah, that tracks. So the victim's name is Duncan Allen, and he has worked over a decade. Has worked for over a decade, according to the news outlet. Video captured by surveillance cameras showed the suspect, later identified as stripper Peyton Lathan, walking toward the booth before setting down a suitcase on the ground. She then stands against the wall before appearing to pulling something out of her sleeve, stabbing Allen twice in the back. He says he was on the computer getting some songs ready, and the next thing he knows, he felt it felt like a 500-pound man was punching him in the back, basically as hard as humanly possible, he says. So he turned around and expecting there to be a huge dude about to fight him, and it was her, the dancer, Peyton Lathan. She was she was standing there holding the knife. He still doesn't know. He still didn't realize he was stabbed at that point. Then he took a breath and realized his left lung had collapsed. So per the news outlet, paramedics told Allen he was just minutes away from drowning in his own blood. Half of the girls were obviously shook and started freaking out, he says, but the other half of the girls were instrumental in his survival. He was fading in and out of consciousness, he says, because of his blood loss. So everything around him was getting blurry and everything was getting white. Officers reportedly observed 2 stab wounds on Allen's back, as well as one under his left armpit. Lathan, who's 29 years old, was found hiding in the bushes on the side of the road by the police who were escorting Allen's ambulance to the hospital. She was arrested and charged with assault and unlawful possession of a weapon. Per court documents, she allegedly told police that Allen, the DJ, is a drug dealer and suggested that she would be pleading insanity. The DJ denies her allegations, while the club's owner, Johnny Diablo, Zukle, I don't know how to pronounce that. Zukle with some things above it. Believe that she was definitely had a mental health crisis. The club owner said that she was always a little off, but never exhibited signs of violent tendencies. He added, he thinks that she has had intended to kill someone, and it just happened to be Allen that night. And when he thinks about it, when she was in the dressing room for about 10 minutes, she seemed like she was possessed by a demon. Allen goes on to say, sex workers are equal to every other person out there in this world, and they have every right to be loved and treated like human beings. If it wasn't for them, he would have died. So he wanted to say thank you to them. So she actually, instead of just assault, they did get her for attempted murder. She pled not guilty to that. So I don't have any updates on that, but if you'd like, we can kind of, yeah.
We can take a look at it. We have some time. So a little bit about Casa Diablo. Casa Diablo puts its meat on the pole, but not on the plate.
Sorry. That just got me. See, this is a treat, folks.
Yeah.
But not a meat one. Okay, so how would you pronounce that last name? Zukle or Zukle?
Casa Diablo put this meat on the pole, not on the plate.
Not on the plate. It sounds like a trailer for a fucking movie.
I cannot. Casa Diablo. Casa Diablo sits on the outskirts of Northwest Portland's lush forest park. The sign outside says "New dancers," so you know what you're getting into before you stepping into a dimly lit bar. But this ain't your average strip club. Oh no, this is a vegan strip club, and the only one of its kind in the world. One of a kind club also puts forth one of a kind motto: Vixens, not veal. Sizzle, not steak. We put the meat on the pole, not on the plate. And it lives up to it. Vixens, not veal. Casa Diablo just celebrated his 10-year anniversary this past February, and his 28-year-old vegan owner, Johnny Diablo Zuki, is in good company in Portland. With an abundance of Portland's population sharing its lifestyle, Diablo opened a vegan restaurant where the illustrations Casa Diablo lives today. So here's a bit of here's the intimate interior of the Casa Diablo, right? Look at that. I mean, it's all wooden. It looks
it looks kind of cool.
Strip club in a barn. I'm down to go.
Yeah.
Industrial location bought in blue collar workers who would get up and leave after realizing there was no meat on the menu. Since his clientele was 90% male, Zuki needed to find a way to get customers into his establishment without forfeiting his veganistic integrity. So this is all to promote a fucking restaurant. It's the other way around. Oh, whoa. Shit.
He's like, I know what to do.
Bitches.
Titties and ass.
Exactly. Since I didn't lease the building, but actually owned it, I had to make a very bold tactical move as to looking straight into the face of bankruptcy. What could I bring to these potential customers working right here near me in the restaurant? I thought to myself, an old adage, sex sells, loomed heavily in my thoughts. I prayed to the vegan gods for guidance.
The vegan gods.
They answered resoundingly, yes, for the animals. Open up the world's first vegan strip club. This guy's delulu as fuck. Though seemingly perverse, the transition was logical. It was a logical one. The Rose City is a mega center for vegans and also home to more strip clubs per capita than anywhere else in the world. Like fucking combine them. Fuck yeah. So in 2008, Zuki's visionary club became part of the statistic. The club boasts an all-vegan food menu and includes soy stroganoff and sloppy joes and mac and cheese because who wouldn't want to eat messy herbivorous meal and watching dancers bear all? And club rules explicitly prohibit dancers from wearing fur, feathers, leather, or wool while performing.
Whoa.
What's this? What's this?
I don't know.
The success of his club overwhelming, Zuki decided to open up a second location, the charming and aptly named Southeast Portland's Dusk Till Dawn Casa Diablo 2.
Oh.
Portland is shoring up its astounding forward-thinking reputation of alternative culture by being the birthplace of strip clubs, but that's just the beginning. According to the proprietor, patrons from all countries flock to Portland to immerse themselves in Casa Diablo experience of like sloppy joes and hoes. Okay.
Sloppy Joe.
Sure, sloppy Joe. Zuki said, with huge explosive growth in veganism, not only in the United States, but it also increased from 1% of the population to 6% today, but also all over the world. I believe you will see vegan strip clubs popping up in many, many different countries in the future. I want all strip clubs and whole world to go vegan ASAP. He wants the whole world to go vegan.
Oh, geez.
With over 10 years of infamous Portland business, Johnny Diablo Zuki also reports that Casa Diablo concept is available for licensing to anyone who's interested, of course.
Of course.
And here are the two, if you guys want to go. Here are the two places.
When was this article put out?
Sure.
The only reason I ask is I've seen a picture of him and it doesn't seem like... Okay, 2018.
So
he was 29 when he started it?
Yeah.
Okay. So in Okay, there's no way. That was 10 years, so he was 39. I don't know. Let me show you real quick this news thing. Where I'm gonna hopefully this is starting right as the stabbing takes place, and then we'll kind of go through it. But you'll see what I mean.
Well, now you know. Now you and the audience know a little bit more about the.
You'll see what I mean when I talk about
the background of it, and you understand how this guy acquired it, and it's even more zany when you hear what happened there. Now that you know how he acquired it, who he is, guy's a weirdo.
I love this. All right, so give me 2 seconds, and we will share this video. All right, here we go. Let me unmute.
Oh, I love it.
I've never actually had like a dancer outright like attack me like that.
Duncan Allen has worked as a DJ at Casa Diablo Vegan Strip Club on Northwest St. Helens Road for over a decade and says he's seen a thing or two, but never did he think he would ever leave.
Real quick, do you see that sign?
Yes, I do.
With the carrot,
the carrot. It's a fucking.
Just saying, I was like, this is great.
Look at this sign. It's a fucking. It's a Diablo woman with a fucking carrot. Like they don't mean here. We put our meat on the pole. We don't put it on the plate. I mean, the marketing is insane. It's so good.
It actually is really great. So
good.
He would work in an ambulance with stab wounds, or that he would have the footage to prove it.
I was basically on my computer getting some songs ready, and next thing I know, it felt like a 500-pound man punched me in the back, basically as hard.
Okay, so
part of me standing there.
Yeah, part of me thinks, did he creep on her? Just
right? Yeah.
You know,
that might be the,
what would cause such a visceral reaction to this man? And I mean, granted, she could be Looney Tunes. That could happen. But really, I mean, I don't know. Well, let's keep playing. Let's see.
It is humanly possible. So I turned around expecting there to be like a huge dude like about to fight me and hit me, and it was her. And she was standing there holding the knife. I still didn't know I was stabbed at that point, but then I took a breath in and I realized that my left lung had collapsed.
As shocked as he was, Allen knew he had to stay calm to avoid his lung filling with blood too quickly before EMS got there. But in the back of his head, he was left wondering why this dancer attacked him, saying it was completely unprovoked. And according to the owner of the club, he was just as shocked, saying the dancer, Peyton Layton, had worked for him for 10 years.
She was always a little off, weird, but she never exhibited signs of violent tendencies. I think she intended to kill someone, and it just happened to be Duncan. And when I think about it, when she was in the...
This is the guy.
Yeah.
This is the meat, and this is put the meat on the pole, not on the plate guy.
This is crunchy vegan.
This is dude. This is the guy.
Okay, so I don't know. So if that article was written in 2018, and he had done this since 2008, right? And that was 10 years. And he was 29 years old. So that would mean he was 39 in 2018. And it's been, I don't know, 7 years since. So he's what? 40 something or older than us. By a couple, no.
46.
Yeah. So yeah, he
looks old as shit though.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying. I'm like, no way he's our age. I think he's lying about his age. I'm just saying. But yeah,
29 is a young age to acquire a vegan business.
Yes.
Maybe being vegan makes you fucking look old as shit soon.
One would think it would be the opposite, but who knows? Maybe.
I like steak.
Me too. I could never be vegan or a vegetarian. I just can't. I like meat too much.
Yeah, I love vegetables, but
yeah, I mean, I do, but
accompanied with my steak.
Yeah, I mean, they're an accompaniment, not a full meal.
Exactly. Plus, so many animals in the world, they're delicious.
Yeah, I agree. Let's kind of go on here. It's not a very long clip here, so
the dressing room for about 10 minutes. She seemed like she was possessed by a demon.
After leaving the club, Layton was spotted walking alongside of the road and was arrested by Portland police, now facing 2 assault charges as well as a charge for unlawful possession of a weapon.
She could have cracked my ribs. She could have stabbed me in the kidney. She could have stabbed me in the neck. She could have stabbed me in the spine. I think that she should get charged the highest, whatever. Because the fact is, this was premeditated.
Of course.
The suspect is set to be arraigned on her indictment Tuesday morning. And as for
yeah, so there's that.
Guys, I told you it was going to be a treat. You were going to get
Yes.
hooker on strip club DJ violence,
Right.
which is always fun. You got to learn of what Portland's makeup is, which is the most strip clubs per
and
capita,
vegan restaurants,
right? And
Yeah.
vegan restaurants. So this guy combined them and made the first vegan strip club, which it's taking off like wildfire. A second location,
right?
The guy's doing great, but suddenly he was 29 years old. He asked the vegan gods. He was like, "Vegan gods, what do I do?" And he's like, "Combine them, baby. Sex sells." And
They were like, yes.
Yes.
Don't hurt animals, but
Right. Let's make the whole world vegan and let's make
get their dicks hard.
Yeah. Known as the Rose City. Remember, Portland is the Rose City.
Yes.
So
there we go. Yeah.
The Rose City has, ironically, the most strip clubs.
Okay, so you know how a few weeks ago when we had our brainchild of going through of this month of killer kinks and cocktails.
Yeah.
We went down a rabbit hole of looking at the Yelp reviews of the strip club.
Oh, one star strip club reviews.
Yes, I think we should do it for Casa Diablo.
Let's Yelp Casa Diablo.
All right. So if you'll give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. And while you look it up, so kind of fill the air just real quick.
I can do that.
Okay.
So we're going to go to Yelp here and we're going to look up Casa Diablo to see what kind of Yelp review they have. Let's make it really big, really big. Cool. And then we'll go to Yelp and then we'll just look up a business. Casa Diablo. Vegan strip club. There we go. So here we go. It's they have one. It didn't disappoint me, and here it is. We actually went into the site. I actually signed up for it. I gave it my birthday, so I'll be looking at that later. They're all tattooed. It's pretty crazy. So let's see, Sammy, when you get back, Sammy. Casa Diablo, here we go. There we are. So it even gives you a map, just in case you guys are interested in.
And I'm back, sorry.
You are? So here we go. Here's Casa Diablo's Yelp.
Yeah.
So let's go and check this out because, man, I never laughed harder than when we checked this out.
I know. You actually snort laughed. I loved it.
It takes a lot for me to do that.
I know.
Let's go dark reader I'm sorry, guys. This is just something that I have to do.
No, I get it. I like that aesthetic better too.
Okay, good. So let's see. Johnny D. So this is Johnny D. Johnny Diablo.
Yeah.
It's the world's first strip club. Drinks served daily are healthy and delicious. Our dancers are hot, fun, and engaging. We have the best private dancers in Portland, 7 topless bartenders, a smoke and watch, see-through window lounge. Casa Diablo is the only strip club in Portland. Ranked the top 100 best strip clubs in the world. If you like the movie Dusk Till Dawn, you're going to be love us. So different take on the world. That's pretty cool.
I love the movie Dusk Till Dawn. Honestly, it's one of my favorite movies.
For sure. Lots of 5 stars.
Yeah.
4 stars. And we have a few 1 stars.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's trade off.
Okay.
You want to go to ones or do you want to go to the ones?
It doesn't matter. What would you like? Let's do a couple like good reviews and then we'll go to the poor reviews. I kind of want to see what people are saying in the good reviews and then we can compare them to the bad ones.
I like that. Go for it.
Okay. So first one here says, my sister and my girlfriend got naked together after the party bus picked us up and drove us here on my girlfriend's dirty 30 birthday.
Fuck.
And while I was helping my friend Travis, who was outside puking, because he said everyone's seen what inappropriate things they did we doing
That way we be doing
in the corner in the full public view for all of my friends and themselves. This is just poorly written. I'm so sorry.
It does, of course. No, it's not your fault.
Themselves on 10/1 of 2011. Nobody took.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
That.
My apologies.
It's fine.
I was trying to get rid of that.
Okay.
But, okay. Sorry. Yeah, damn it.
Okay, now I can't see it.
Well, you know what? It was really not a good one.
It wasn't. I actually am just really excited that, his girlfriend and her friend were naked.
they got naked.
They were like, fuck that. We're going to get naked and go to the strip club. This is going to be fucking awesome.
Right. Well, deal with it, guys. Live TV. So I think you were around here. I was helping my friend Travis.
Yes. I don't see it, though, on the screen here. Yes. Can you not highlight it? Thank you. So I was like, nobody took pics in 2011. What really was happening? Why is that a 5-star review? Did they just want to boast that his sister and his girlfriend got naked together? That's kind of creepy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
that's a good idea. I think I'm gonna stop my cam as well. There you go. Okay, so here it says 5-star review. Portland is considered a mecca of strip clubs and recognized to be rather pioneer of quite some variety options for clubbing and adult entertainment. However, if you like the authentic experience, I will call it old school spot. He talks like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
With polite, you call it old school spot. Some call it old school spot. Okay. With polite and seriously hot dancers would be my recommendation. I often go watch dancers on a pole nude, some not so nude. Finally, this spot with so many periods and so many fucking commas. Finally, this spot was relaxed, sincerely friendly, not having girls breathing down your neck if you want a private dance or not. No of that nasty looks up and down if you want a movement. I'm reading this exactly. I'm reading this exactly as it's written.
I know, it's the best.
Nasty looks up and down if you want a moment to be yourself. It wasn't like my lucky day. I think that's how they roll. That's their style. That's how I see it. 5 ellipses. Cheers.
All right. This is from Shannon C. from Sunland, Los Angeles, California.
2023.
Yes. So this place is very inviting. A friend and I went together for our first strip club. Women were beautiful and talented. We only had beer. Next time we'll try the food. Everyone was very nice. So that one actually was decently written. Doesn't sound like she was drunk when she read it.
Exactly right. at the strip club, like, oh man, I got to put my thoughts down.
I need my dick's in one hand and my phone's in the other.
Right. So Rich S. from downtown Glendale, California says 5 stars, 2023. Zorro is the best baker I've ever seen in a strip club. How many bakers have you seen in a strip club?
None.
The tasty
this place must have really good eats.
For vegans, the tasty treats he provides at the table always compliments the lady who's dancing on it.
Oh.
He pairs his desserts with the strippers like experienced sommelier does with wine and food.
Ooh.
This place is outstanding inside and out. I highly recommend it because everyone who works there treats you like family, a very close family. That gives you hand jobs for money.
Well, if you go up to the questions, it was like something. I'll read it here. I've got this pulled up. One of the questions was, "Is this a hand-on club when receiving a private show?" The question was the answer was yes.
Oh yeah, it's hands-on, all right. It's hands-on, all right.
Yes.
A couple more good ones. You want to? We can also go to 3, like 3.
Yeah, we could do that. Let's do that.
Okay. So we know what they like.
Yeah, I mean, lots of people like this place. It's top tier from what we see here.
My lady.
All right, so it says this is Karina V from Antelope, California. 3 stars with 4 ellipses.
So many. They love it.
I would have given them 5 for the show alone. The girls are nice, sweet, and the debauchery is my favorite part.
Of course, Karina. Yeah, baby.
3 stars for the fact that if you were getting served at your table, your waitress will never tell you that a tab over $100 incurs an automatic gratuity. I was also tipping my waitress every time she brought me a drink. She easily got an $80 tip out of me that night with the automatic gratuity. I'm annoyed. I wasn't told my bill was insane, including the cash I tipped her.
I'm annoyed.
Should probably tell people when serving them.
Yeah.
If I had known that, I wouldn't have tipped her cash. There are signs at the bar stating that, but if you never go to the bar, how the hell are you supposed to know?
Right.
All right, but whatever. She
I
was
get it,
getting
sweetie.
tipped. She's not going to tell you.
I mean, now we're lukewarm. This is 3 stars. This is lukewarm shit.
I know.
You know?
All right.
Man, this is a long one.
But it talks about the actual owner, but it is a long one.
It's
So
a long
keep
one.
going.
I don't want to kill people with this. Look at this one.
People are into it.
Those are 3 stars. How about this one? 3 stars from Janessa P. She's from Portland, Oregon. She's
from Portland. She's a local.
She's just 2011 though, so keep that in mind.
This is shortly after it opened, one would say.
Let me tell you, the best thing of Casa Diablo is the mac and cheese. I mean, unless you like naked girls doing naughty, without a T, naughty, skeevy things on stage for $1, sometimes to themselves with lollipops. Ugh. Sometimes with other ladies. So she's doing
Okay, to me that makes it a 5-star right there, right?
But you crazy. No one give a fuck what they've served there. This bitch is doing something with lollipop. Lollipop. That's value.
That's got to be a 5-star. Okay,
I think I have officially aged enough not to want to waste $1 on the chance of getting lady bits gyrated into my face.
That's the whole point of a strip club.
If it's your cup of tea, though, that's cool. It was most definitely the kettle of tea of the Casa Diablo sponsored softball team, though. They were out there in full force in their Casa Diablo uniforms last night. It's definitely a novelty to come there. And the deep fried vegan food is actually quite intriguing. The egg rolls were decent, the mac and cheese surprisingly good, and the chili cheese fries were awesome. It was like a plate of nachos on French fries instead of chips. Genius.
I mean, that's what chili cheese fries are. Right?
Yeah, you fucking genius. You're the genius.
Genius. I've never heard of such a concept. Sorry.
To recap, if you like naked ladies and chili cheese fries, come check it out. If you want your chili cheese fries without a side of naked lady, head somewhere else safer.
This sounds like it sounds like a Stefan fucking
yes. If you like chili cheese fries.
If you like chili cheese fries and naked ladies, this is your spot.
Have you been to Casa Diablo?
Exactly. In Portland, Oregon.
Why don't you read LEG? She's from Groningen, Netherlands.
Ooh, this should be fun. So it costs $6 to get in. And this is back in 2016. I feel like that's a bargain.
That's great.
Yeah, this place was packed. We went on a Friday night. We had to wait 20 minutes in line to get our drinks. The drinks were good, but I think it looks bad when the bartender measures the liquor in front of the customer. It's like, are you a new bartender? Sorry.
Ooh.
Let me just read it in the way I feel like it should be.
You should.
There was no room to sit. Me and my 2 friends stood the entire time. No tables opened up at all for the good hour we were there.
Wow.
The only open chairs were on the stages, but you had to tip $2 per song if you sat there.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. As a paying customer, I should pay whatever the hell I want. The strippers were nice and cute.
Mm-hmm.
There is a variety of them for all types of likes. We want to go back on a weekday and give it another try. Okay, it's a fucking busy ass fucking strip club. Fuck off.
You're from the Netherlands. You're just going to come out to the weekend?
I know. Wait.
All right. Sounds good. All right.
I'm here for another day or so.
Like
Let me come back.
Let's do another short 3, and then no more 3s.
No.
Oh, yes, no, so there is.
There
Let's
is.
go here, and then we'll do another short 3, or maybe a couple of really small ones. How about this one? We'll rapid fire these.
Okay.
March 23rd, 2015, came in on a Wednesday night, was surprised at the obnoxious customers yelling at the dancers, no table service, had to order from the topless bartender. Maybe it was an off night.
Okay. Again, isn't that the point
These
of
are great
fucking
things
strip club?
happening to you. Topless everyone.
Sean G, Portland, Oregon. Fun entertainment. Food is okay. Drinks are strong, but you have to wait in a very long line.
There's Reed K. So this is 2010, a long time ago. 15 years ago.
From Tampa.
Girls were hot. They're definitely fit the theme of the place, but no waitress got bored. Would be better if the girls mingled a little. Prices were reasonable. Not bad. This guy's like the most.
Not bad, but not great.
Not bad, not great. All right, so let's give them what they want.
Yes.
All right.
Let's do it. Let's do the thing.
Which is what we want.
Let's do the thing. Let's go to 1 stars.
We want this one. So 1-star reviews on Casa Diablo. Here we go. 1 star.
1 star.
1 star. Karen
All
Reed.
right.
1 star Karen Reed. Here we go. 20 reviews.
All right.
Madame?
Adrian I.
Oh,
Silly
Adrian.
Valley. Terrible.
Don't fuck me over, Adrian.
This is from 2018. So terrible. We were there less than 5 minutes. First red flag was the overweight cashier who, after we paid the cover charge, flashed us her saggy tits and took our change as her tip. Bitch, we paid a cover to see dancers and their breasts. We don't need to tip you to see yours. We went in as a couple to drop quite a bit of cash, but the whole place looked and felt shady. We noped out of there real quick.
Noped.
And spent our money at Sprice. Is that another strip club I feel like we need to look at? I was irritated. The cashier just took our change without permission. Very sketchy, very dirty club. We just noped right out of there.
Fuck, we noped right out of there. Bitch, I came here to see strippers' tits.
Not your fucking fat ass.
Saggy tits. Oh, I'm dying. Okay.
All right, this is on you, dude. This is from Anchorage.
2012.
All right.
The guys from Anchorage, Alaska. It's pretty ironic that I went to a great lengths to financially glorify this place. And then I go in a couple of days for a friend's birthday and ask for my change in ones. No problem. I get the change. They're all $2 bills. What? Seriously? These are still printed. Are you kidding me? Like, they say, these are still printed? I go to the bartender. Excuse me, these are $2 bills. I asked for ones. Can I get some ones, please? Oh, honey, these are $2 or twice the party and twice the fun. Like it's on purpose. Oh, honey, $2 and twice the party and twice the fun. I asked for the ones you gave me twos. Don't you want to party twice as hard?
Don't you get to party twice as hard if you actually have ones?
Don't you want to party twice as hard? No, I want ones. Well, we don't have any ones. Not in this whole place. There are no ones. No, we have 5s and 10s though. Thanks for giving me the wrong units of money and hoping that I wouldn't notice. Thanks for talking down to me like a child. I just love it. The only thing I love more than being lied to my face. I'm sure you've never been tipped in ones, but must never happen. No one in the entire joint. Totally believable. Nothing gold can stay. See previous review for what this place once was. And here's some food for thought. If you ever touch a $2 bill in Portland, odds are it had to be touched by someone in the exotic dancing industry. I would imagine so. My God, it's so good. It's like, so you don't have any fucking ones? No. Don't you want to party twice as hard? Don't you want to party twice as hard?
Goes twice as fast.
I'm dying. Oh, you choose, honey. Go.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, this is from 2018. Evan M. from Oakland. Evan M. Sorry, it sounds like Eminem. Oakland, California. If you're looking for a strip club that looks like a high school boys fantasy of a dorm room at a community college, then this is the place for you. Sorry, I had to stuff on it. I don't think there was one girl over 22, and oh my God, were they hungry.
With a lot
I went with my girl.
Hungry.
I went with my girl, and we were one of 3 other people there. But I kid you not, there were at least 20 girls walking around, if not more. Overall, whoever runs this place has a very strange idea of what a strip club experience should be. Weak drinks, short songs, weak talent, and no organization at all.
Damn.
I actually had a girl start whining at me because I wouldn't leave my wife and go get a private dance.
Whining. Oh, come with me. I want to do a dance.
He's like, she'll actually fuck me. You'll just give me a handy. It's fine. I'm not leaving.
I want to do a dance. Oh, God. Oh, let's go. Let's go to this one. So A, her name is A. A-T. A-T. I never had such a, so 1 star, 2016. I never had such a terrible service in my life. 5 exclamation points. First of all, the food isn't that good anyways, and the bartender was super rude, wouldn't serve us all. We did was stand in the line to get served. I frequent strip clubs more than I do fast food joints. And the last time we were there, I spent $90 on our food tab. What if I wanted to eat? Which I did want to eat until the bartender got mouthy with me for literally just trying to order 1 drink. Boycotting all of your clubs, 4 exclamation points. I used to work at Casa years ago. I have so much more to say than this, but I'll just leave it be. I am not the type to ever bad-mouthing a slander. What? I am not I am not the type to ever bad-mouthing or slander a club. But this one? Are you serious? Never been kicked out of a club for not even being drunk.
Okay, so this seems like she was a dancer and had bad blood because they probably fired her. They're like, you're not allowed back here.
Yeah, she's like,
I used to work there years ago.
Boycotting all of your clubs means I can't go there anymore.
Yes. She is a disgruntled employee.
Sure is. Oh my God. It's like my favorite part was I went there to spend $90 on food tab. What if I wanted to eat? Which I did want to eat until the bartender got mouthy with me. Mouthy with me.
Oh my God.
Oh, how about this one? You want to read this one?
Which one? MT?
Yeah.
Okay. MT, Montclair, California, June of 2019. This place is absolutely trash.
Nice.
Bartenders are the worst. One in particular who refused to serve me because I didn't tip after the first time I ordered a beer. She did the absolute minimum. Didn't believe it warranted a tip, and I told her I would get her on the next one. When I went to order the second time, she would just ignore me. Fair enough, I didn't tip, but she was so petty and told the other bartender, no serve me either.
No serve me either.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
And words are hard, but I read that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I told my friend the situation and that he would have to go to get the beers for the night now. He went, got 2 beers,
mm-hmm.
and she began questioning him on who the other beer was for. To assure it wasn't me, petty. Ensure it wasn't for me, petty. He asked why she wouldn't serve me, and she said that if we're not tipping, she was going to cut us all off. I mean, that's fair. Most people don't get you on the second round anyway.
Yeah, you gotta. Actually, the first time you get there, you gotta tip.
Yeah,
that's the most important part.
Exactly.
You got that backwards.
Exactly. You tip first, and then you can be like, "Oh, I tipped you now, and then I'll tip you more later." So, all right.
I had an awful experience here a few months ago with a friend. To sit near the front, you have to pay $2. My friend paid for me with dollar coins that he had. Dollar coins. What?
That's my life.
I went to a strip club with dollar coins. Whatever. Okay, it's money. My friend paid for me with dollar coins. The highly intelligent stripper, however, had no concept of the fact that dollar coins exist, like me right now. So she proceeded to throw the coins at my friend's face and say, "Save the quarters for your laundry." She did not change her stance, even after telling her that they were dollar coins. Horrible, rude workers. Yeah, nobody wants to get paid.
Okay,
Like, strippers don't want to get paid with coins, bro. Where are they going to put them?
Yeah, I could tell you where they could put them, but that's not really how that works.
Wow,
you don't go to a
man.
strip club. I mean, you have your own piggy bank.
You have your own piggy bank. You mean your silk wallet?
Yes. However, you don't go to a strip club with coins. That's fucking asinine. That's their fault. That is their fault that they got treated bad because they were shits.
Yeah, good. Fuck you. Yeah, don't bring coins to a fucking thing, dude. Are you
No.
kidding me?
Dollar bills.
All right. You want to do a couple more?
Or $2 bills.
$2. I mean, come on. Yeah, at least
They're
change the coins.
complaining about having to sitting up front and having to pay $2.
And then my friend paid for me with coins. And then they were like, this isn't the fucking River Styx.
I mean, this isn't the fucking Stone Ages where all we had was, fucking coins.
Coins, bro. Come on, get out of here.
What the fuck? Yeah. All right, which one should I read?
Whichever one you like.
Let's do Arthur. Arthur D. This place is a glorified dive bar with a cover charge strippers. Walked in for, that doesn't make sense. With a cover charge strippers. Walked in for my bachelor party, expecting a strip club, ended up with nothing but dudes and disappointment. Some of the girls were nice, but the overall vibe was not even close to what we were expecting. I wish we knew that before waiting 20 minutes to get in and paying that hefty cover charge. The cover charge $6. Spice, S-P-Y-S-E.
This is the second time we hear about this place.
Yes, is way better. Should have saved the trip and our money and gone straight there. Lesson learned.
So,
but if you have to wait in line, doesn't it show that it's actually a kind of a hopping place?
Next week, stay tuned for us while we look at 1-star reviews of Spice.
Yes, next week it has to happen.
All right. So I don't know. Let's. Oh God, this whole looking for the keywords here. A petite stripper named Jasper picked my pocket at this place. A petite.
At least she didn't stab your ass.
She was little. Petite stripper named Jasper. It's the weirdest thing I've ever read in my life. The a stripper named Jasper picked my pocket at this place. She sits on one side of you and then the other, checking your pockets with her tiny hands.
I'm sorry.
Siri. Again,
I'm sorry. Read that again.
Okay, easy for you to say. She sits on one side of you and then the other side, checking your pockets with her tiny hands. She rearranged my cards in my wallet on one side and took a 50 out of my back pocket on the other. She sets her leg on your leg while she does it to distract you. I guess she thought I was drunk and wouldn't notice. I got to the next place and my cards were in a place I never put them in my wallet.
Well,
I wasn't drunk.
Notice.
I wasn't drunk and did notice the theft.
Not until you left.
Right. You didn't say anything about it. You figured it out, Columbo.
It's fine.
It is the best way to stay away from these places altogether. Until you got to the next place. You should stay away from these places. Look at I didn't realize that I got to the next strip club. The girls are all about the con and believe that since your presence there degrades the female gender, you deserve to be the victim of a criminal behavior. I was only there to indulge my friend who was free from his usual grind for once in a long while and wanted him to let loose.
Yet he got a lap dance.
Why do I feel like reading it like this?
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. Keep going.
The girls are all about the con and degrades the female gender. You deserve to be the victim of a criminal behavior. Like he's fixing his pocket square. I was only there to indulge my friend who was there free from his usual grind for once in a long while, so he wasn't able to let loose. I'm not an idiot or a mark. I have dated former strippers, which is something, and I am not proud of.
Why? You should be proud of it.
Most of these women have drug addictions that enable you by giving them money and making yourself available to steal from. It is bad for everyone involved.
So here's what I get out of this.
Thank you, Tom. Tom from Oakland. Thank you,
Thom doesn't get real women. He
doesn't get real women.
He has to go to strip clubs to,
of course.
And he's not proud of dating the stripper. Absolutely, he fucking is. He's paid for all of that date.
Of course, yeah.
I've
dated a stripper.
He is the man who stands outside waiting for her with gifts to shower on her.
Oh yeah.
To prove that he is not like the other men.
Yeah. I'm not a mark. He knows.
I'm not a fucking mark. However, it took him till the next club to fucking meet her or to figure out that she stole $50 from him.
Exactly.
Fuck off. You gave it to her and you felt bad because somebody called you out on it. Probably, I don't know, your fucking mom. I'm sorry. This dude seems like a fucking piece of shit.
Can you read Cosmo K, please?
Yes. Okay. Cosmo K, Portland, Oregon, 2015. Disgusting food, weak drinks, butt plugs, and dildos. Okay. That seems like a good time to me. Not sexy, just a spectacle. The $2 bills are super lame too. The fucking $2 bills. If I ask for 100 ones, don't give me 52s instead. That's literally half the fun tokens just gone.
Twice the party, bro.
Time. Fucking the first line, disgusting food, weed drink. Not weed drinks. Weak drinks. There probably is weed drinks in
probably weed drinks, yeah.
Yeah, butt plugs and dildos. I think that's
disgusting food, weak drinks, butt plugs, and dildos.
I think that's amazing. I mean, that should be again another 5 fucking stars. Not sexy, just a spectacle.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. I'm still laughing about the butt plugs and dildos.
Oh my god. I'm trying to find that.
Wait, hold on. Go up real quick. To Hey Eden. One above Cosmo.
Yeah. Oh.
No. Baby M. I just wanted.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one. Pissed. This baby M's pissed.
Yes.
Also local.
That's on you. You got to read that one.
Okay. Hey, Eden, in quotation mark. Hey, Eden, if that's your real name. And the rest of you asshole hustlers. You really shouldn't auto-grat people who have only been sitting at your table for like 90 minutes and run up a bill that's over $130. You really need to automatically charge me 18% for just sitting there for less than 2 hours? I told you I was a bartender, which means I know how to tip, dummy. Was very polite and respectful, and the entire time racked up a pretty big bill in a short amount of time with, all caps, not very difficult drinks to make. Shots and beers. And yet you still charge me that fucking autograt on Christmas Eve, no less. I won't be back. And cottage cheese is the only available to eat here. It's on display.
Okay, hold on. If you're a bartender, you understand an autograt. And cottage cheese, Eden, you have cottage cheese thighs. I mean, that's what she's saying, right? Or I don't know what baby M means.
Absolutely. And I won't be back. And
Christmas
cottage cheese
Day.
is not the only thing available to eat here. It's on full display.
Eden.
Eden. Is that your real name? On December 25th.
I'm sorry. That is some Christmas spirit right there. All right.
You get the last one. That's it.
All right, Tyler or Brian?
There you go.
Let's do Brian.
Give it to us.
Went there. This is December 11th of 2014. Of 214.
214.
All right. Went there on a Thursday around 8 p.m., which is early. So I didn't expect top quality. Holy shit. I am still trying to wipe the ugly out of my mind. I didn't even bother finishing my one drink before dusting this place. sat down and got haggled by the 250-pound dancer on stage.
Oh, God.
Are you freaking kidding me? No. No other was worth looking at either. I didn't get why people rave about this place. Maybe I just went on the wrong day at the wrong time. Or maybe Portland's version of sexy is just following its weird trend.
Yeah, really. Look at
They
this.
only give $2 bills for change. Fucking $2 bills. They only get $2 bills for change, so you end up having to tip more than you normally would. To me, that just tells me that it knows it sucks.
This man doesn't want to party twice as hard.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You guys would like to party?
Oh, you want to party twice as much?
Oh my God.
So it needs as much as it can to get or can in devious ways. If you must still see this place for some self-injuring fetish you have, so if a self-injuring fetish that you have, then I would recommend going on a Friday around midnight, or maybe the eye candy will be worth unwrapping.
Oh, nice fun. Nice fun.
Oh my golly. How much fun has this been, man?
Oh my God. Place was whack as fuck. $8 cover charge fee plus ugly ass girls. Not to mention it was on the way out of the downtown Portland. So these are the unfeatured ones.
Yes,
so, this is like the bottom of the barrel. Oh God. Anyway, we'll be back next week with we're gonna
Spice.
do Spice.
We gotta remember Spice. We gotta write that down.
Oh yeah, that's being done. So oh my God, that was fun as hell.
Oh my God, seriously. I had to do this story just so we could do that.
Oh really? It flowed perfectly. So
it did.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff.
Honestly, I think the guy is a genius with a vegan fucking strip club, especially in Portland, where
the only place it would happen.
Yeah. I mean, I think this should be everywhere in the world. No, I don't.
You need to make the world vegan ASAP.
No, meat is good, and how many times? I mean, when vegans do things, they make vegan bacon and vegan whatever. Okay, no.
About it. It's not.
No, it's not
feeling,
good.
No.
It's not.
In a pinch, I'll do it. Or if I'm being respectful, or people, that's just what they're
right.
We'll do it.
To each their own.
And I won't make a fuss of it. I mean, like, that's stupid.
No, I mean, if it's done well, I mean, I'll eat any food.
Right. If it's like, dude, I've had some amazing like portobello stuff.
Oh, fucking portobellos are my favorite. Mushroom. I love mushrooms.
People at the hotel constantly asking for vegetarian is different than vegan.
Right, because you can do dairy and eggs and things because
Because if you're lacto-ovo, that means you eat eggs. If you're a pescatarian, if it's just
fish, yeah, because they have scales, whatever. It doesn't make sense to me though. I mean, I can understand doing vegetarian maybe for health reasons, but vegan, no.
Well, it's a lot of beans.
Yeah, I mean, beans are fine. I like them.
Right?
They're delicious, especially I like a ham and bean soup.
Like a split.
You gotta add some meat to it.
The old ham hock is not very vegan,
so good though.
Anyway, thank you all for joining us tonight. This is super fun. We ran the gamut. We talked about Karen Reed. We brought you to speed with what's going on with her trial and how it's a retrial and how we're totally on her side now.
Yeah.
We talked about YouTube extortionists and sexual extortionists that Sam brought to light, because that's crazy. That's happening on the internet. We talked about Richard Ramirez and the Night Stalker, his sexual story. Mind you, keeping on the theme with our sexual May Masturbation Month. So make sure to do a couple of things. We only ask a couple of things of you. We ask you to hit the like button. We ask you to subscribe.
Yes.
We ask you to leave a comment, interact with us in some way, because it all helps. And finally, rub something. your
It
cock.
is Masturbation Month. Take advantage. Fucking
Rub
do
your
it.
cock. Rub your cock. Rub your bean. Let us know how it went.
Do it throughout the year, but focus on
Especially
it.
yeah.
Now. Yes.
Do it to like overstimulation levels here in May. So thank you, Sam, as always.
Yes,
we
it's been
miss our third
Yes.
Rose. We hope that everything's going well with her family issues. And
Yes.
as you can see, stay strong, Rose. Have a good one, sweetheart. We'll reconvene next week. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be here next week doing the same, well, not the same stuff, but similar things, and we will have fun on our Killer Kinks and Cocktails month. So
More cocks, more pussies, more killing.
women have built-in piggy banks.
That's going to be the everything we talked about. Women have built-in piggy banks. Makes me.
I am Dave said, I'm going to start rubbing mine if you don't hurry. We are done. But no, honestly, it's been a fun night. Thank you, Rocksteady, for jumping in early and leaving some comments. As always, folks, if you have a story that you'd like us to do, whether it has something to do with this month's theme or any other story, just let us know and we will work it in, and maybe you can be on the show and help us tell that story. So it's been fun. It's been great, and we will see you next week. And I don't know which one to fucking play. I got it. Ready? We'll see you next week, folks.